Hello everyone, Damascus the Fox here with another knife review. Today we are reviewing the CJRB Kicker, and yeah, this knife is actually pretty cool. But first things first, I want to take a moment to look at my nails. They're clipped. I clipped my nails. There you go. If you're one of those guys, that's all about. I'm gonna put it up here or over here, somewhere around here. There was a lot of comments on that video that I need to clip my nails, so I found that hilarious. I got 3 or so comments, so if you want to go read that, I'll link it right here, about clipping my nails. And I'm like, it's a knife video. Why are you focused on my nails? What are you, a manicurist? I'm sorry, I just found that kind of funny. But yeah, I clipped my nails, so now they look nice. Back to the video, I apologize for that. Okay. We're reviewing the CJRB Kicker. Now this is a pretty cool knife. This is CJRB is the budget brand of artisan cutlery, which is pretty cool. This has a D2 blade steel and finish right there. Stonewash. Pretty cool. This is that carbon fiber, but first things first, let's do some specs. What do you guys think? You guys like specs, right? All right, let's start off with length. Length. This guy has that recoil lock, which I'm going to be talking about shortly. There we go. We got this guy. He's coming in at about 8 inches and say 8 inches and a quarter. 8 1/4 inches. So that's pretty cool. Almost gave up right there. There we go. Blade coming in. Wow. About right there. A little above 3.5. So that's pretty cool. And then cutting edge. You got 3 1/4 cutting edge. That's pretty cool. Let's go with weight. Hello to you too. Alright, ounces. This guy is 4.27. So yeah, a little bit of weight, but not too much. Not going to disappear in your pocket, but sure won't be too cumbersome. Size comparison, let's put this guy up against Spyderco Tenacious. I'm going to clean this guy, poor dude. Spyderco Per 3. Now, if I sniffle a lot through this video, I apologize for that. I was just recently fighting off a cold, and it still kind of lingers, so I will probably be sniffling a lot, and I would have waited, but I need to do this review because my schedule, I have it all scheduled down, so I need to do this review. Yeah. So I apologize for all the sniffling I'm going to be doing. Well, there we go. It is longer. Just a tad bit longer than the Tenacious. And it is quite longer than Per 3. Alright, let's do CJRB. Put it up against another CJRB. Feldspar, regular, and Feldspar, small. Now, as you can see, it's pretty much the same size as this guy. I think, yeah, pretty much the same size. Okay, and then this guy's obviously smaller because it's the smaller version, which is cool. And let's do another popular company, the Benchmade Freak, Super Freak. Sorry, I had to. And We Banter. So obviously smaller than the Wee Banter, and the Freak is pretty much the same size, so that's actually pretty, maybe a little bit bigger, but pretty much the same length. So that's actually pretty cool. How, the big knife, like that. Oh, almost forgot. One last one. Perfect EDC. Cold steel. Spada XL. Oh, what a surprise! You know, the spot is bigger. I was expecting this one to be, you know, at least somewhat of the same size. You know, I think that's crazy, man. And pretty much the same size as the medium as this one is, but this one I think you get way more, just a tad bit more cutting edge. You get a little bit more blade with this guy. A little bit more. Alright, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's go with height now. This guy right here. See, there's that sniffle I was talking about. So, even with that flipper tab, not too bad. Yep. Not going to be too cumbersome to carry this guy. You can see that. Doesn't pick up that much. That's pretty cool. Alright, put these guys over here. Width. Put it up. There you are. Okay, the width. Oh, it's here. Get out of here. Gosh darn, my cold. It's pretty much the same thickness. I think the kicker's just a tad bit. Not really that much. Marginal. Blade thickness. If it will focus. It's actually a pretty thick blade. That stock on there. See? It's about... It's a little bit like a Para 3. Tad bit. But the Para 3 does taper down to a much thinner stock. So that's interesting. Let's put it up against one of their own. Yeah. I think this guy's a little bit thicker. Maybe we'll put it a measure, maybe. Measure it right there. It's upside down. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. All right, price on this guy. This guy right here, this particular one with the carbon fiber. This guy will run you on Blade HQ. I'm not sure about other companies. It varies from company to company, but on Blade HQ, it's going to go from $46.95 for the carbon fiber. You can also get this in G10, and there's plenty of flavors. There's green and black G10. I believe I saw a blue G10 as well. But the G10 one will run you $43.95, so an extra $3 you get carbon fiber. So if you really want the carbon fiber version, then extra $3. But if you're okay with G10, save $3. So yeah, I'm not going to say that carbon fiber does anything else than G10. Yeah, so choose what you like aesthetically more, because it's $3. Let's do a cut test. I have never put my own edge on this guy, never sharpened it, only used it very little bit, only a little bit. So this is basically factory, well, this is factory edge with a tad bit of use on D2 steel. That's actually pretty good. Yeah, so a little bit of use, and that grind right there. See how flat goes right here? So tapers down quite a bit. Very nice finish on this guy, and it does come to a pretty thin. It does go pretty thin right here. You do have a little bit of mass up here, but it's pretty thin right here, so it actually does cut very well of what I've felt so far. Now, let's talk about this knife a little bit, shall we? Already at the 10-minute mark. Wow. Been rambling for a while, haven't I? Got to get through these specs faster or something. All right. Well, thank you for watching if you're still here by this point. All right. So we already talked about different varieties. Let's talk about this Recoil Lock. The Recoil Lock. So far, I've actually really enjoyed this lock. I really actually like this lock. It works very well, feels strong, and compared to other locks of the same nature, such as the Axis Lock and I think, yeah, XR Lock that SOG does. I can't tell you which one's my favorite because I feel like I still need to use a lot more just to determine that. But so far, I do really like the feeling of this lock. It feels very hydraulic, if that makes sense. You pull it down and the blade comes down. It does tend to, if you mess up the timing, it will stick right here and you will not get it back in. It will just bounce around. Yeah, just bounce around. So you have to flick it back out and bring it back in, or you'll have to close it. And it has a lot of tension right here. You can feel that tension right there. Yeah, and then it just kind of slams shut because the flipper tab kind of has this like grab feeling right back here, grabs it. But if you get that timing down, it usually hits its mark every time and stays in. I noticed that with a lot of locks that are like this. I'll give you kind of like a comparison. Like here on the Pair 3, it's similar, similar fidget factor fall in with the back ambidextrous kind of stuff. Not nearly the same, just similar. It bounces. It has that bouncy feel. Bounce. See? Where this guy, I'm really sorry about that. Sniffling all the time. Okay. But this guy, pull it down. It falls in right here, latches. You don't get that bounce. Falls in every time. You don't have to get that timing just perfect that I feel with this guy. I'm not saying that this is a bad knife or I love the compression lock, but you have to get that timing right. Otherwise, you are going to jam that thing up. Compared with the SOG Turnus XR lock, this one kind of has a similar feel, but the lock is more on the line of the Axis Lock from Benchmade, where it's down here instead of up here on the spine. So you bring it down, it kind of absorbs it in there. The lock right here, it grabs under the pivot, under the flipper tab, and kind of like brings it in. So you can hit it without that bounce. Timing is not too bad, and especially after you break it in, feels really good. On like the Benchmade Freak, this guy came tight out of the box. I was like waiting for it to wear in. I got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm loosening up the pivot, and got it to drop shut action a little bit. But see, it does slam. This guy comes down. It's just like slam and then bounce. So with this guy, since it doesn't have that flipper hook, got to get that timing just right. Otherwise, yeah, right there. Otherwise, it does that, depending on how you flick it, it'll bounce, and then you get stuck right there. So, other jump cuts, it's when I blow my nose because cold. Okay. So I really like this. It does feel a little bit gritty when you pull it down. Kind of feel like a little bit of a grittiness, in my opinion, but it does kind of wear out. Yeah, you feel kind of a grindy feeling when you pull it down, but it's not too bad. So actually, you could get used to it. You could get used to that. But I'm not sure if you can hear that. Yeah. So it has a little bit of a grindy feel, kind of a grindy sound to it, but it does make this thing very easy to use. You can pinch it like this, bring it down. You can actually use the back of your thumb, bring it down. Just be careful. Your thumb definitely has to be in the right spot. I was too low, pulled it down, went like this, and it came slamming on my finger and bit me. So be very aware of where your fingers are at if you're going to do this way, and then you have to do it that way. You're not going to be able to really pull it all the way down with this. You'll have to push it down if you do with the thumb ramp right here. Or you can also do it like this It'll allow you to kind of get a little bit more down, or you could pull your thumb right here, keep your fingers out of the way, pull your thumb above this. A little harder to do, but you can pull it down and flick it down like that. So it will require a little bit more practice with this side. To me, I just prefer just to do it like with a pinch. Just pinch it, flick it in. But you can do this, so it does make it truly ambidextrous. But I'm not sure with this pocket clip. Pocket clip, I think, is necessary for you to have something to grip onto. Maybe the G10 will be better because this is very slick, but this allows you to have a grip on it, so you definitely need this pocket clip. Otherwise, it's very difficult. I tried to do it without the pocket clip. It keeps slipping out of my palm, and my fingers want to go here for traction. See, like that. Jeez, man. That was, yeah. Okay, sorry about that. So the pocket clip is very necessary. I think, I don't want to say this because I like the way how this is designed, but I think maybe if it was a 1/4 inch shorter on both sides, well, obviously, because if this is shorter, this has to be shorter, or, if this is shorter, then this has to be shorter. I think it would be better if this was a little bit shorter so that I could get my palm right there and still reach it. I have to bring my hand all the way up and press it down. So you have to contort your fingers all the way up, and even then, it still tends to slip off. You need this pocket clip for traction. Thus, you're pulling the pocket clip this way. Over time, I am not entirely sure, no expert on, stuff like that. Over time, I have a feeling that this thing will get canted. I have a feeling that this thing is going to go from here to over here if I keep doing that. It was probably going to be way, way down the road, but maybe one day. Not that big of a deal, but it may distort these screws, distort this. I'm not entirely sure if that would happen, but I do need to pull on these and then pull it down. You are not going to be able to do it without this. So if you're left-handed, you're going to need to reverse that. Well, I mean, you already would, but you have to actuate this lock much easier because I can't do it. If it was a 1/2 inch shorter, you can put it in your palm and close it. Let me see if I can show you like an example on this guy. This guy's much smaller, so you could put it in your palm and you can still actuate that. Look. So, see, this guy's shorter. I don't need that pocket clip. I don't need it. It's right there. I don't need it. See? Put it down. Pocket clip always gives you nice traction, but I could just pinch it like this, flick it back down. Because it's lower. This one's higher. It's up here. If I had to pinch all the way up here, that would be kind of a problem. So if this knife was shorter, just by 1/2 inch, I think it would fare just as well as this guy with the palm. Just putting pressure on your palm. That's just my opinion. Otherwise, I like the way how this is a much bigger knife. You have a lot of space to grab onto, and it's just like you can, go back a little bit. You can choke up. So I do like that. Lanyard hole is right there, and it carries right there. That's all you're going to have sticking out. So it's definitely a deep carry, and they're right there. But yeah, so the pocket clip is definitely a necessity to actuate that lock ambidextrously with, putting your fingers in harm's way. Otherwise, if you don't have the pocket clip, you have to close it like this and then bring it down. So it's either, bring it down, two-handed close, or try to grip it like this, really pinch it, and then bring your thumb on top. Bring it down. Otherwise, you have to contort your finger very far, and you risk slipping and dropping that thing like I just did not too long ago. So, yeah. That's just my opinion on, I think it should have been just 1/2 inch shorter to actuate this, high up lock just a little bit better. So you could put it in your palm and grip it a little bit better without the need of the pocket clip for traction or support. So, but having said that, I'm glad that this is a much bigger knife. It is nice. And it says this is a clip point, so yeah, it looks like a clip point, but the lines are getting very blurred on a lot of blade shapes, in my opinion. This looks like kind of a trailing sheep's foot clip point kind of thing. So, yeah, because it slopes up like a trailing point. Kind of looks, well, maybe more of a Warncliffe than a sheep's foot, because Warncliffe has a continuous cut down. That the shorter spine goes down, where a sheep's foot has a continuous spine that slopes downward near the tip. So far, what I've seen, I'm no expert, so I just want to be clear with that. Just that's what I get from the blade shapes. Clip points usually have a cutoff near the tip that is either subtle or aggressive or sloped up, like the Espada that you saw not too long ago. This one just kind of abruptly goes down, so it kind of gives me like a Warncliffe sheep's foot vibe with a trailing point, but this one's considered a clip point, so we'll just go with that. But yeah, the lines are definitely getting blurred between some blade shapes, so kind of have to make them up sometimes, you know. Let's see, what else was it? Oh, it has a nice backspacer, so that's pretty cool. Nice black backspacer right there. And let me show you the insides. Should have got my flashlight. Do I have a flashlight in here? I knew I was going to forget my... Oh, thank goodness. I have my flashlight. I'm happy now. Okay. I need to clean in there. Jeez. As you can see, it's heavily milled out in there. You got nice skeletonized liners, all those milled out holes, so cuts down on the weight. I mean, you saw the weight, 4 point something, so yeah, nice and, you know, knocked down. Very comfortable. All these spots are nice and rounded, so you don't have any hot spots when you grip this knife. The ergonomics are very straightforward. You just have this nice little finger ramp in the front. It goes down to a nice slope, so very comfortable on hand. You can grip this thing like this, very comfortable. There's absolutely like no jimping besides right here, and I guess you could call that, I don't know, jimping on a lock. Yeah, so it does allow for a lot. This thing is comfortable. Yeah, the pod clip's not obtrusive at all. You have plenty of room to grip it, no matter your hand size. So yeah, this thing is very comfortable. It's got that really nice accent on the pivot. Got that little like bronzed line around it. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And this knife is made in China. And now this is carbon fiber, but it's that laminate carbon fiber that you see on a lot of budget knives, like Civivi and well, CJRB. Usually, if it's not too around the like $50 give or take mark, you'll see this laminate carbon fiber. So it's like carbon fiber on top of G10. That's what it looks like, and it's very slick. There's really no texturing whatsoever on this. So yeah, it's going to move. So you definitely want to grip it tight. So yeah, luckily it's very easy to grip tight on this, but it is very, very slippery on these parts right here. In my opinion, I recommend just going for the G10 versions. I was having this carbon fiber thing, and I just wanted to get everything in carbon fiber, so I got this in carbon fiber. But I can't say that this will... You have to like the aesthetic of laminate carbon fiber. That's just my opinion. You have to like this aesthetic. For $3, this will not give you really any benefit that I know of. So I would just go with the G10, because you'll definitely have better grippiness on the G10 version. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And it's pretty cool, the flipper tab. It's actually kind of more of a hook shape. I don't know, I just found that kind of interesting, and I thought I'd point that out. So yeah, right here, you know, it kind of looks like just one solid piece of steel that goes down, but nope, it's actually a hook shape. Hooks around and wraps around there, right there. There's a stop pin right there. It comes up. A little bit of shouldering. I keep hitting my camera, I'm sorry about that. A little bit of shouldering. Not really that much, but it does wrap a little bit. Just a little bit. Not really that much. Yeah. Alright. So we compared this with the other locks. Yeah, we got pretty much all the other stuff done. So yeah, I think that's it for this video. In my opinion, I find this actually a very, very good knife. You got D2 steel, you got, you know, G10 or carbon fiber, whatever you pick. Deep tray pod clip, very comfortable, nice and, you know, rounded corners, no real sharp spot. The hardware is very minimal. Screw, screw, and screw. And then you got pocket screws, which they look like T6, these guys right here. So yeah, very minimal hardware. I don't know how the recoil lock works. I've never taken this knife apart, and that looks problematic to work with. So yeah. But one day down the road, I'll probably take apart just to see how this thing works and get to know the knife a little bit more. But otherwise, I haven't taken it apart yet, so just be wary of the fact that this thing is using springs, and that might be kind of hard if you never taken something apart like this before. So yeah, just be aware of that. But otherwise, I can actually recommend this knife. This knife is really cool. I like using it, I like it in my pocket. It feels very comfortable, and you know, very nice steel. So yeah, I really like this knife. It's really cool. So that's all I have to say. Very nice knife. Under $50. Get a pretty nice knife with a very convenient, very nice to use flipper tab and recoil lock. So that's really cool. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video, and if you like more knife related content, remember to subscribe, because I post videos every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and there'll be more knives and more videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day. Bye.